Hello, everyone. Welcome to Week at Sports, and it's our post game for those Lions' second preseason game against the Kansas City Chiefs. Them coming out with a last-second win. I think Jake Bates overall has solidified himself as a kicker after yesterday. Yes, he missed a field goal, but four decent field goals he made and missed the one extra point. But I think the Lions have shown that there is some bright side to the depth they had after kind of taking care of business against the starters for Kansas City.
Yeah, yesterday was fun. It was probably the best preseason game I can recall in quite a while. I mean, usually boring, and you're only watching to see, if someone might have a shot to break into the lineup and who's battling for what. But like you said, Bates has pretty much solidified his position as our kicker. He's still got work to do.
I mean, but he cleared
but
at least a 65-yard field goal.
Yeah, he did. I mean,
so he has the leg.
Cool. That seems to be becoming the norm. You need to have a guy who can do that. Dallas had some guy kick a 66-yarder, so it's good to have somebody out there who's got a leg like that. Number of Lions, I think Hooker solidified his position as the
number 2 QB. Even though Nate Sudfeld had a really good game yesterday.
Huh?
Nate Sudfeld had a decent game.
Yeah, the thing with Sudfeld is he's never going to get better.
No.
He has no upside. Zero. He has a big downside.
He was 14 for 27.
Worse, I think. With Hooker, you could see this guy, as some of us thought, I mean, possibly, this guy has starter potential. I don't think he'll stick around here till the end of Goff's contract, but if Goff goes down, who knows? You got real insurance. I mean, I like what I see out of Hooker.
He's got some fight, right? He's been pushing through. He got a couple touchdowns yesterday. Or got a touchdown yesterday running. But Nate Sudfeld, he threw 14 for 27, 196. Hendon Hooker was 12 for 15 for 150. Sudfeld had a touchdown interception. Hooker had neither, but he did have a rushing touchdown late in the game. But Hendon Hooker likely is more leaning towards your backup, especially with one more preseason game. If he just shows what he's doing, he should be your backup.
How can you justify him not being QB2? How can you not? I don't. There's no comparison between the two.
And it should make you feel at least a little bit better. I know I didn't get to see too much of his throwing, but I know at least when he needs to run, he can run. And he's willing to fight for yards when needed to.
Right.
Which isn't terrible, but also isn't the best as a QB because then you end up with concussions. But
right.
It is what it is, right? Moving on to the running game, we did rush for 117 yards. Baki showed signs of being really, really good again. I think he's solidifying his spot on the team. Whether or not he's going to be running back 3 or just an extra body for like special teams and then can run every now and then, because you do have Craig Reynolds who still might be leaning in the verge of being that third running back, since that's been his spot for the past few years. Outside of that, you're kind of just seeing who might be wrong, right? Xavier Knight still fighting for a spot, whether or not he makes a team. I can tell you right now, Jake Funk probably is going to get cut after, running into his own quarterback with a block. He's probably not on the team anymore.
These guys are just bodies anyway. So there's only a few of them out there that have any real shot to make this team. But, this is stuff they can tell their grandkids and stuff that they played in an NFL preseason game or something. I think they know that for the most part. I think, like I said, I'm not sure who that fourth wide receiver or fifth wide receiver will be.
Yeah, looking around at what we got.
Sounds like Donovan People-Jones is not going to be one of them.
He seems to be struggling. I still expect him to be on the team because obviously you signed him to some money. Not a lot of money, but you signed him to be on the team.
That is true. But I mean,
I don't know exactly what will happen come regular season, but the guy who's been sticking out the most so far this preseason passing-wise has been Isaiah Williams.
Right.
He's been sticking out. He's kind of led his way into being that fifth wide receiver on the team. So I honestly think he's probably going to be the one to make the team. I don't know who's going to push Peoples-Jones. There's been other guys who have been struggling. That being Fountain he's been struggling. Tom Kennedy has been doing decent. But every single preseason he does decent, and then he barely
Right.
makes the team. So he might be another practice squad year for him. Um, and Maurice Alexander, he was on the team last year on the practice squad, so he might be looking at being on the practice squad again. And then Caden Davis, he had a decent day, but there hasn't been too much noise around him being on the team.
Right.
So
Right. I mean, you gotta for people like that, they really have to show something to get noticed. A couple good plays isn't going to do it. So I think we see how the who's going to be, starting to see who's going to be on this team. Now we got one more preseason game. Um, I don't think we're going to see our starters at all, right?
you should see him in the last game, probably for like a quarter.
Think so? Yeah,
I
just
think
a little warm up.
you'll
Okay.
give him a warm up. They're not going to play too much, warm them up.
I mean, I would not risk our offensive line. I mean, I guess I don't know. Penny Sewell probably could play a quarter.
I just expect most people, if they are going to play any starters, it's not going to be long, just to kind of get them warmed up for the first game of the year. But besides that, I wouldn't expect too much out of the starters. Defensively, you're facing the Chiefs. It's kind of what you expect, even if it was second string. The Chiefs are pretty decent all around. Defense did pretty good though.
I thought so.
Holding Patrick Mahomes, to almost nothing.
I think Betts is going to be cut.
He had a sack yesterday.
Yeah, but I mean, his size, he really hasn't been noticeable. I could see, I'm starting to notice Martin a little more. They said Pascal was in trouble. That he is not in a good spot either, which surprises me because I thought he would be one of the guys.
I think it's just the amount of people we have at the position.
Right.
It does not bode well if you can't at least hold your own in the position.
Man, he made a huge play at the end of the game. But I was surprised to hear that they threw him in the fourth quarter.
But it is going to be interesting to exactly what happens defensively. You have a lot of guys who, you don't exactly know where their spot is at. Cornerbacks are still kind of a question mark of who's their starters, who's not, especially when I see like a Meek Robinson getting burned multiple times a game.
Right.
Like, is he just not warmed up yet? Is he, still fighting for a starting spot? He's probably going to be a 3 with how I'm seeing it, because I haven't even seen Arnold really that much.
Right. They're pretty set with their cornerbacks. They were impressed with Amik, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think the bigger issue on defense is who our linebackers are going to be. I mean, Anzalone's penned in right now. I mean, that's the only one I know of. I haven't noticed Jack Campbell much in the preseason.
I don't know if he's really been playing, because I haven't even seen his name on here. I haven't even really seen his name on here on any stats. So I mean, he's been non-existent. But
if he hasn't been playing and I haven't noticed him, I don't know. We'll see.
But yeah, the overall, I mean, it was a good week. Special teams has been iffy, but obviously they're not playing the people who exactly will be on special teams. It's kind of seeing who might be able to get an extra spot on it. That being, anybody who's returning, like Isaiah Williams has been returning kicks. We know that he is not going to be the returner during the year, because it's usually Khalif Raymond who's doing the punt returns.
Right.
So it's kind of seeing who can get that backup role in a punt return kind of situation.
Who was our last preseason game against?
Steelers.
All right.
It's a home game. It is a home game.
Is it Thursday?
Sunday. It is Saturday.
Saturday, all right.
A 1 p.m. game.
Huh?
Saturday at 1 o'clock.
Ooh, I see. I might miss that.
I'll be at home for part of it, so we'll be fine with that one. I'll at least get to watch a little bit more on that one. But I mean, it was overall a good game for the Lions. It showed some progress and maybe eased some people on some positions, continued the worries for the others. But overall, pretty decent. With all that being said, we'll end the video here. Steelers on Saturday. If you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, share the video around. Until next time, hope to see everybody soon.